Hi everybody, my name again is Balam, and I live here in Hartford. I originally come from Guatemala. I came to the United States around 14 years ago. By the time I couldn't speak English or read it, and I learned it by myself. So pretty much everything after that, it's been done by self-taught. And I have some slides that I would like to show. So I think I'm gonna grab the clicker and my culture is considered to be a low-tech culture. So I grew up making my own tools. My family was a low-income family, so I didn't have much toys or great education. So I pretty much craft my own toys and learn how to do things using creativity and innovation and invention. I used to pretty much anything that surrounds me to do art. Art is what I love since I was a little kid. My grandmother, which is on the top, she used to make chocolate in Guatemala for a living, and I used to help her in making chocolate. And it has such a wonderful experiences living with her and growing up in a native culture. So when I came to the United States, I had the opportunity to understand a little bit more and more how technology works and what is it about technology, how society is so dependent on technology. And I never saw a computer before in my life. And I had the opportunity, my sister-in-law, she bought a new laptop, that was maybe 10 years ago, and she gave me her old computer to me. And I began to play with that computer. I had no idea how to turn it on or how to put it together. So I figured out where the video card goes in here and there. And little by little, I began to understand how those wonderful machines work and what they do and what they're capable to do. So based on that, I began to play with computers. And I always have a computer in my studio. And I always saw the computer would it be nice if this computer can do something that is artistic? It goes beyond using a word processor or just type code into it. So I had the idea of using technology into art, but I couldn't really connect very well with it. And everything happened. Some time ago, we went for hiking, and I was bitten by a little bug, a tick. And I had babiosis and Lyme disease, and I ended up in an emergency room for a whole week. I was pretty much feeling like I was going to die. During this process, and I was in the emergency room, I began to think, okay, I need to do something in my life, something I really want to do, something that is going to keep me going. And I always wanted to do art, but I wanted to go beyond what it is done. I like to explore. I have the urge of making things. I love to make things. So when I came out of the hospital, I began to see computers in a whole different way. I began to develop software that was doing things when I have some kind of motion to it. And I always been a fan of open source. I like to share what I do, and I love when people share their ideas and their inventions, because we need to have that. A community needs to know what other people do, and we need to share knowledge. And what would be better than just share technology with others, share the idea that we can make our own technology, that we're capable of growing our community, make it better using technology. And it doesn't have to be making software or making new games or new apps. It can be something so simple like making a sensor for detecting water, and that information can be transferred into art. So my earliest work using technology, I began to incorporate, in this case, a microcontroller, an Arduino, which is open source. And this was quite simple. It was just an Arduino that light up when somebody came close to the painting. And a lot of people love this idea of using technology into traditional mediums of art. So have an idea of how technology is and how different this is, it really intrigues me a lot. So I began to think again, how to use technology. And based on an idea of my childhood, that I have to make my own toys, and I have to rely on whatever was around me. and use low-tech technologies with high-tech technologies. I began to mix like wood and some of my kids' toys, dominoes or Legos. And sometimes they get angry when I take some of their toys and I just open it up and play with them, and one of them is right here. But so the whole idea is that we see all these devices, all these components that we think that are just meant to do one thing. But having creativity, you can transform these devices and make it do other things. So just because a Lego, it's attached to the idea that it belongs to little kids, it doesn't mean they cannot be used in art. It's open for constructions. A lot of times I use Legos to build inside a structure for my sculptures. And then I just hot glue it and it works and stay there for a long time. They're so versatile, they work great. So there is no need of buying or making new parts because they're already there. It's just about invention. So, and when I was in Guatemala, before I came to the United States, I was a student of archaeology. And to make a living, I used to make handmade jewelry with wires and pliers. So in this case, you can see in this slide, these are actually touch sensors that I made. I went to Home Depot and pretty much grabbed whatever I thought was going to work. Sometimes I really don't know if that's going to work, but I just get it. And started working on sensors. And I thought the idea that a sensor, it's not just to be that plain scientific looking device. It can be something that has to look, it has beauty into it. It has their own presence. It is something that you can make and understand how to change technology in a way that is designed the way that we think it's going to work and look better. So when I started working on these sensors, I made out of plexiglass and aluminum, and I just used my pliers that I still have and bend them up. And they actually touch sensors. And then I use old technology to make them detect touch. And then I use a microcontroller, and that understands the information that comes from them. And once again, like I know that we are driven by machines, by computers, and computers surround us, but it doesn't mean that we have to use them all the time. I have the idea, like I work in computers from Monday through Thursday. Fridays, I do my hardware. Saturdays and Sunday, I don't want to touch machine because I need a little break from them. So when I'm working, when I have an idea, I go to the old technologies, to the old ways of making things. Like I draw my circuit, and I just cut the chip, and then I just mark it and start drawing with them. And then when I go back to the computer, I make the sketch using software. But once again, I rely on old technologies. And then I transfer that into new technologies. And it's creativity and invention what it drives, create new things. And also, my mother, she lives now here in the United States. And she also helps me to make my interactive installations. She's twisting the wires in a way that when the women in Guatemala twist the hair and the little kids. So I thought, why not make the wires look nicer by making it look nicer by twisting them around. So she's in this slide, she's helping me on that installation, and you can see she's surrounded by all the electronics, and there is nothing, for her it's nothing new. She's surrounded by all this electronics, and it's something that we really approach to it. So she's not shocked of the idea of using traditional techniques into contemporary tools. And then I began one day, when I was looking at my grandmother's picture, like, I thought idea that technology seems to be walking away from traditional elements. And however, the future of technology is the integration of low-tech and high-tech. So I had the idea of, I'm fascinated with e-textiles. I like to make devices that are connected within what you wear and how this is going to work and how this is going to look. So I began to doing some experimentations with making textile circuits. circuits that you can wash, that you can put on a washing machine. And it's mostly made out of textiles, except the chip in the center. And this is my microcontroller, and it's mostly made with textiles from Guatemala, from native textiles. So this idea of using old and traditional elements with new technologies, it's something that I really enjoy to do and I love to do a lot. And actually, this is in this slide, I have my microcontroller and some LEDs textile mounted that I developed and designed. And this traditional blouse is called a whipple. This belonged to my grandmother, and before she passed away, she gave it to me to keep it. And I think she used this one when the day that she got married, she was wearing this whipple. So I wanted to mix those two elements, the contemporary and futuristic technologies with old and traditional textiles. So, and this is one of my latest work, which is the experimental instrument. And you can see that this person is touching the device, and that generates sounds. And it's a sequence of development from my touch sensors to a more simplistic design and more futuristic design, but still used and made with mostly recycled elements like plexiglass and recycled wood, and it's wireless. And it's made with open source microcontrollers, and then I develop all the electronics and the software that this device uses. And then I also thought, like, new generations, they love technology. When you mention about technology, new generations, they just love it. So this is my daughter, and she is wearing one of my projects called the body sound suit. So when she moves, she generates sounds. So she dances to her own motion. And this is a work that we do together, and she does all the choreography of the interactive installation. And it works real well because kids just love the idea or make something that is interactive, something that is fascinating to them, the use of technology. But I incorporate art and technology and low-tech and high-tech with the idea that all methods, all ways to do things, they can still survive and find a way to survive among us, among the use of technology. In the next video, I did it maybe 2 weeks ago, an exhibition that I have at Wesleyan University. And you're going to see this lady playing with the instrument, but at the end, you're going to see her reaction, how she reacts to using technology. I love this video so much. So as you saw this lady, she was so happy using this device and this installation. So technology, it really resonates in us. And some of us have the idea that it doesn't really work for us. But if we look in a way that is different, you can find ways how technology can be adapted to us, and rather than ourselves adapt to technology. So for the last minute of the presentation, I want to just give you one little demonstration about one of my works. My daughter, Hare, is going to show you how this cube works. So if we can switch the projection. With my faces. So when she moves the cube, there is a relationship between the digital world and the tangible world. So this is one of my earliest work in new media field. And of course, my kids always give me feedback. You should decorate the box this way, or maybe if you add this into that. And thank you very much.